right, so today is the same day as the cardio video yesterday. Uh, whenever I miss a lift, or like if I take a rest day per se, I still do cardio. So, I kind of want to give you guys some of the daily stimulation that you're used to. But, it's been about 5.5 hours since then. I had a protein shake, which was comprised of 2 scoops of protein and 8 Reese's cups. Blended up super well. I will be doing that again in the future. And took a nap outside in the sun, so I am well rested. I'm completely recovered from that cardio in the morning, and I'm ready to hit some back. For me, the gyms in my area all close at 6 on the weekends. Not ideal. Not ideal, Sometimes I want to be flexible with my schedule and lift later, sometimes really late. But it's one gym you can always rely on for having wide hours. That's going to be Planet Fitness. Now, Planet Fitness, getting a lot of flack for that one. But still gym. It's just equipped differently, you know. Like for me, I don't really mind a back day at Planet Fitness. I just don't end up doing I don't start off with heavy rows like normal. Typically when I go to Planet Fitness, I'll end up doing more pull downs, pullovers. They do have a couple machines that I like for back. So I wouldn't love to go there for like chest day for a really long period of time, just because the only heavy pressing movement that I'd be able to do would be the incline Smith machine, right? No, I've got no problem with incline Smith. Like I've done lifts where that was like the main heavy movement, where I did like 6 sets of that before moving on to like cable flies or pec deck. But I want to be able to change it up with barbell and dumbbell stuff like that. But nothing's going to stop me from getting a crazy pump. I've never set off the lunk alarm, and I don't intend on doing it. They're not. They're definitely not so stringent as social media would lead you to believe. But I already drank the pre, so by the time I get to the gym and warm up, should be flowing throughout my system pretty well. And yeah, in about for you 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes from now, I'll be looking at a freaky back pump. So let's go fucking get in there. Get out of here. Get away from me. Okay, so before I even get into my first heavy set, I started pull downs today. I kind of just fuck around on the cables for a few minutes. A little bit of rotator cuff, like rear delt activation, a little bit of pullovers, a little bit of like, just kind of, honestly, I'll just do a few sets of rows. Like, I'll just go through it again. Like I'll sit here for like, 5 minutes, do a couple of rows from up top, just a little bit of like lat activation. Drop it to the middle, do some middle stuff, put it down to the bottom. Just kind of to make sure I'm not like tweaked or anything. But after I do that for a few minutes, I jumped on the pull down. I threw 100 on, did a few reps, 150, 200. So the stack here is only 260. It's not that crazy, but should still be a good set. So let's just try to throw it around for as many as possible. Oh, 5. Oh, okay. Oh. So, those first couple of reps in the set, pretty decent range of motion, getting a full contraction. But as I get more and more tired, I can't do a rep that deep anymore. right? I'm just getting so fatigued, it's not going to happen. So I'm personally under the belief that you shouldn't just end your set right once you can't do like a rep with perfect form and perfect ROM. You know, I want to just try to just burn out as hard as possible. So since this isn't like a compound lift, right? Obviously, if you're squatting, you can't really do partials. You're literally just gonna either kill yourself or drop the weight onto the safeties. But with something like this or like lateral raises, where you can still get some partials, it's gonna be super beneficial. Okay. Let's do something else. I'm not sure what. So I tried this like, was it last back day or the back day before? I can't remember, but the premise is, you know, do the whole stack or as much as you can do. Grab onto this handle, walk it back, and then you sort of hold this support as like a brace. And it just ends up being a perfect rowing movement. What kind of sucks with a lot of, like if I were to do seated cable rows right now, I'd end up working my lower back a lot, right? Because the only thing keeping me from falling forward is the fact that I have to activate my lower back, right? And sure, you want some lower back development, but you know, we're really trying to get bigger lats and traps, get that wide look on top. So chest supported stuff is typically going to be better for the most part. Like I love doing bent over rows, barbell. So it's good to do a little of both. Probably a balance, probably a good balance is going to be best. All right, let's throw this stack around. Boy. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Fuck. Okay. Let's, that takes a lot out of me. Fuck. Let's move on to something else. But when I do these, I get a huge stretch. Like sometimes when I do hammer strength row, uh, I'll just sort of naturally not go so deep. But with these, something about it, it just lets me get a fucking huge stretch. Oh, so I'm already feeling fucking pumped, and my mid traps are thrashed. So let's find a new exercise. All right, so typically when I do back, I'll end up doing like an even mix of pull downs and rows. So it looks like this lift will sort of be, I wouldn't say scheduled, but let's just say programmed, whatever. With some pull downs in the beginning, some rows in the middle, and then pull downs again at the end. Or maybe pullovers, you know, whatever. Pull downs and pullovers, both kind of lat biased. But I think a set or two on this machine should feel pretty good. Okay. Let's move on. Let's freaking move on. Okay. So 3 more sets. I actually have a little bit of a plan. You know, typically I kind of just go by feel, but now I know what I want to do. So I think I'm going to do one set of single arm pullovers. No drop set or nothing special, just one arm at a time. I swear I can feel it better than doing double arm pullovers, but that's besides the point. And then we can move on and do I'm going to do a little bit of a pull down superset for the last two. And that should just solidify the pump. Okay, you know what? I lied. One more of these, and then I'll finish with one pull down superset. Fuck. Okay, let's go do the finisher and check the pump. I've done this before where it's the last set of back, right? And I want to just completely ensure that I've pumped it up, like, okay, I don't want to say completely in the same sentence, but let's say fully. So obviously pull downs aren't going to work my traps, and rows, well, rows are going to work your lats. So you know what, you're missing the point. So I'm going to do a heavy set of rows and jump into a lighter set of pull downs. And by the time I've done that, I'm not going to rip this shirt, but getting close. I'm just kidding. But yeah, this is a perfect finisher. I love doing a row supersetted right into a pull down, at least for at the end, just as an ender. Okay, let's fucking hit it. All right, let's go check the pump. Variety of pull downs and rows resulted in a fucking freaky pump. It's I think I may have gotten a little bit burnt. Well, let's find out. I'll make the post that kind of quick. And I'm a little pink, just a touch. Oh my goodness. The only two back poses that there are. Well, I certainly feel pretty pumped. I always get a little bit of a bicep pump too, just from pulling. Like, I do understand the logic of wanting to do buys with back. Because, like, I definitely worked my biceps a little, but I don't think it's, like, every time I try to do buys after back, I just don't get as good of a pump. Like, they're already fatigued from all the rowing movements. Personally, I just like to hit them on their own. So, I'm gonna go finish calves, then we just get in the car and get out of here. Wow. Yeah, on Jesus Christ. On fucking closer inspection, that rear lat spread was bananas. Crazy thick in that lower back. Or well, say lower lats per se. Must have been from those. Probably the pull downs mainly, honestly. Like, I'm trying to think here. I mean, honestly, it was a combination of every set, right? There wasn't a specific movement that pumped up, one part of my back more than any other, right? But that was definitely a good little back day. You know, I don't really have like a plan when I go in. Well, I've got a general idea, right? But I don't have specific lifts and reps and weights and whatever kind of in my mind already. I just sort of move from machine to machine based on what I feel like is going to be good at the time. Because some days, maybe lat pull downs would feel like total shit, right? Or other days, maybe I would just want to sit on the lat pull down for like 8 sets, you know, make it more of a lat focused day. It's just by feel. So there's no dextrose in here. It's just protein. I got like 20 pounds of dextrose coming in tomorrow. So yeah, I just forgot to order more before I ran out. So it's just so post workout. I mean, protein isn't going to do anything, right? It's good to get your protein in, spread it out throughout the day, but post workout, there's nothing special about getting protein in quickly, right? The best thing you're going to want to do is get some simple carbs, right? Be it like sugars or even just rice is whatever. Obviously, best case scenario, dextrose. Fucking said it a bazillion times. So let's just drink this shake and then get home so I can eat some more food. Notice how that goes down much easier than the fucking sweet ass dextrose shake. So let's try not to fucking rear end, tongue twister, rear end anybody, and go home. So on the way to the gym, I was in the fucking mental zone. I was listening to a Baki anime music video, Baki AMV. It had "We Own It" playing. And that shit's badass. You can be the laziest mofo ever, but as soon as you watch a couple of Baki AMVs, you're gonna be ready to hit the gym. So, like in the car, I was just totally in the zone, fucking feeling all grungy, like, let's go fucking hit this shit, yeah. But you know, once I got into the gym, that feeling kind of dissipated a little bit, or let's just say it kind of like faded, right? It's a fucking skunk. That's funny. It's just walking around somebody's yard. But yeah, so like in the car, I had the mental state of like, oh, let's fucking hit this shit. Come on. Yeah, like crazy serious, insanely motivated. And when I get into the gym, like that feeling just kind of dissipated because like I was talking to somebody, you know, I was getting my warm up sets in, right? So if you have to rely on that sort of feeling to have a good workout or to have a good set, and like if you don't feel that way, then you just are like, oh well, today's a little bit of an off day. I'll just go a little bit lighter. You know what's fucking wrong with you? You know, if you the people that are going to get the most results, well, for one, are going to be the ones who are the most disciplined, right? And they put in enough work to make progress day by day, right? But sort of as another little, what would you call it, characteristic, right? Is people who are going to be able to go hard even if they feel like shit, right? Like, this is like the most fucking cookie cutter phrase or sort of statement, but it's like the people that go hard when they feel like it, right, aren't going to do as well as the people who can go hard when they don't feel like it, right? Like as simple as that sounds, you know, it's if you can really sort of understand that and internalize it, then it's definitely going to do you good as long as you're actually willing to go through some discomfort, right? Because the novice lifter is going to think to himself, oh, all right, I feel a little bit off today. The worst case scenario, they go, oh, we're done. Or like they go to the gym, do a few sets, like, oh, we're done. Oh, I'm tired. Right. Whereas the more advanced, you know, enlightened lifter is going to say to himself, all right, I'm feeling kind of fucking tired today. Whatever. Whatever. And then he gets hyped up, plays his music, goes hard. Right. So the more often that you can do a lift, uh, it almost sounds like I want you to feel like shit and then still lift. But the more often where you actually do kind of feel off, but you still go anyway, and you still go hard, you still get a fucking freaky pump, the better, right? Because gradually this shit just gets easier and easier. You know, if you took a layman threw him into the gym, for a week. Maybe the first couple of lifts, he's kind of amped up. He's like, yeah, let's get this shit. Come on. It's got the novelty factor. But typically, once that wears off, people just stop going. They're not into it. Whatever. Like everyone has somebody in their friend group that's like the hardcore lifter, and maybe they talk about, hey, come on, let's lift sometime. And some people in the group sort of go a little, and then they stop. Because some people just don't want it. Nothing wrong with that. But after that novelty factor wears off, and maybe you feel like shit, or you're busy, or you got to cancel plans. Ooh, that's a hard one for a lot of people. Oh, dude, why aren't you coming out tonight? You going to the gym? What the fuck? Dude, come on, let's get. That is probably the easiest thing where dudes are going to go, all right, screw it, and go get fucked up. Next day, I feel like shit. They drink a Gatorade and then they don't hit the gym again. Eesh. Not ideal. Obviously, if size and progress is your number one priority, then that's not ideal. You still got to balance this shit out with life. But if you're really crazy enough, then for the most part, the gym's sort of going to take precedent. I said this a while ago, but I'm almost certain that the thing that I've thought about that's like been in my fucking thoughts the most over the last couple of years has just been the gym, right? Because if you're into it hard enough, you're just thinking about it all the time, right? You're seeing posts about it. Anybody that lifts, all their fucking feed is about lifting. They see all the jokes or whatever, and like the Larry Wheels clips, powerlifting, all sorts of shit, right? And if you're hardcore enough, then you're also thinking to yourself, like every time you eat, like, oh, okay, all right, what are the macros here, blah, blah, blah. Or, all right, well, I better go to bed. I got to wake up early so I can go do my cardio. No, you fuckers aren't doing your cardio. Right? But no, the more obsessed you get with it, the more it's just going to take priority, right? Now, if that's really what you want, or, well, if gains are really what you want, like if that's your shit, then, the more you can fucking put in, the more you're going to get out. That's straight out of Rich's encyclopedia of quotes. The more you fucking put in, the more you're going to get out. Same thing with everything in life. But, yeah. So if you're prone to, let's say, FOMO, right? If you're, oh man, I don't want to miss out on so and so and so. Maybe you're just not crazy enough. Maybe you're just not obsessed enough. And that's not really something you can like teach. Like, well, I don't know. I can tell you all the shit that you need to know about macros and dieting and bulking and training and vitamins and creatine and pre-workout and all sorts of shit like that. But I can't just tell you how to be like obsessed. That's kind of got to come from within. And typically that's driven by multiple factors. You always see posts about like getting. I always talk about fucking breakups because that's such a prevalent topic in all the lifting posts. Like, I see posts where it's like, I'm gonna build a body she can never touch. That's just kind of cheesy to me, right? I think that let me see what I'm really trying to say here. Oh, almost fell. Like, if your motivation for the gym is extrinsic, like if you're just trying to lift to like impress people, or I guess it's a little bit more intrinsic, if like people fucking like bullied you for being fat or something when you were younger. I was always like just kind of a lean kid. I was always like diving and doing gymnastics and shit, so I didn't really have that upbringing. I can't really relate to it. But no, that's legit. But the more that you just do things to get people's approval, like they're living rent free in your head, man. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of that. Right? The more intrinsically motivated you can be in any endeavor, the better. Right? Doing shit for yourself. You know, as selfish as that sounds, that's just always going to be the best mindset. But I mean, that's just me. You know, I'm not telling you a fact. I'm just giving you my opinion. So, frightening back day. Uh, More food to eat. And take my vitamins. Loiter. Just hang out. And fucking. Then go to bed. Cardio in the morning. No work for me either. That's a W. So I will see you next time.